Hello, 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 everybody. I hope and pray that your week is off to an amazing start. Hello, hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. I appreciate you. Do me a huge favor and put in the chat where you're joining me from. I would absolutely love to give you a shout out. I hope and pray that your week 2 of 2024 is off to an amazing start. Again, you guys, thank you so much for hopping on. Thank you guys so much for, sending in your questions. It is Tuesday, and you guys know what goes down here on Tuesday. Wife Chat goes down here on Tuesday. So do me a huge favor. Make sure you're putting in the chat where you're joining me from. I would absolutely love give you a shout out. Hi, Kayleen. How are you? How you doing? I appreciate you for hopping on. And thank you for so much for watching on my YouTube channel. Again, you guys, please put in the chat where you're joining me from. I hope that your second week of 2024 is off to an amazing start. For me, it is. And so I am grateful. Again, you guys, thank you so much for hopping on. I appreciate you for getting on. Please put in the chat where you're joining me from. I would absolutely love to give you a shout out. And so, um, um just to let you guys know, I have been planning some wife life courses for 2024. My very first one is going to be the burnt out wife, and that's going to be in February. I would love for you guys to join me. It is, going to be a challenge, and I want to make sure that all you women that are burnt out, that you get refreshed and renewed starting off in the new year. So please visit my website, gailcrowder.com, and check out the Burnt Out Wife. I would love to have you in that challenge. Again, you guys, thank you so much for hopping on. Please put in the chat where you're joining me from. I would love to give you a shout out. And again, I hope and pray that your new year is off to a great start. Some of you probably have already broke your New Year's resolutions. That's why I don't make them. I just come up with a quote and a theme for my year. And my quote and my theme for this year is look at God, right? Look at God, what He's going to do in the lives of His people. And I'm so excited about that. And so tonight's chat comes from a wife in the Bahamas. She has been married 6 years. She says, I love my husband, but he has told me that I'm very disrespectful to him. I don't see how, but he has told me this time and time and time again. We got married very young. We both did not have good examples of marriages. I run my own company online and have been very successful at running my company. I don't want my husband to leave me, Dr. Gail, for being disrespectful. Can you please give me some tools and strategies to help me figure out how I am being disrespectful? Um, um, is it real? Hi, how are you? I appreciate you. Is it real? Oh, hi, Barbie. You're a Barbie, little Barbie. Okay, hi, little Barbie. How you doing? The funny thing is, I just went and watched that movie the other day. It was pretty cool how they did it. I played with Barbies growing up. And I was just, 6 years old, the other month or whatever. I'm just playing. But it was a pretty good movie. So she wants to know how she can stop being disrespectful, and she does not want to lose her husband. Okay. Now, of course, I only teach or coach or counsel stuff that I have conquered in my own marriage. And this is one that I dealt with as well, being disrespectful. Of course, you guys know that my mouth was a lethal weapon, and that I was highly disrespectful because I did come into my marriage as a boss, right? I was in retail for a long time, and I made a lot more money than my husband did at the time. And so I was raised as a boss. I was raised that I didn't need a man. I was raised with all of those falsehoods, and I acted out on them, and it almost cost me my marriage. But I also know what it is to fix it. And so, what does disrespect look like to a man? And I just asked this from Mr. Crowder before I got on here, right? I asked Mr. Crowder, hi, Dobeline, how are you? I asked this from my husband literally before I got on here, and he says, this is what disrespect looks like to him. And not for all men, but for most men, he has been able to be a voice and to help me see different sides of things. He said it looks like nagging, criticism, lying, putting them down, being disloyal, speaking about them to others. Um, if he says go right, you're definitely going left. He said that's what disrespect looks like to him in a nutshell. Now, other men might have a different list, but if you're doing any of those things, ladies, from a male's perspective, if you fit in any of those things, which I fit in all of them, that's probably where he got that list from before I got myself together. Not perfect, but before I got myself together, then that's what disrespect looks like to a man. Okay. And so here are some tools and some strategies that you can do to start implementing and really understanding what disrespect, how you're being disrespectful to your husband. Now, this list is just a general list, but you need to really dive in and have a conversation with your spouse if they're feeling disrespected. It should not go unchecked. It shouldn't go by the wayside, because when you're feeling disrespected, whether you're a woman or a man in the relationship, that opens the door for more than you want to allow to happen. Okay. When a person is feeling disrespected, they're feeling like they can't trust you with their heart. They feel that you lied to them. They feel like you're disloyal. They feel like you put them down. They feel like they're not being heard. I'm telling you, that opens the door for so many things that you don't want to deal with in your marriage. Okay. So, the number one thing that you need to do, you need to ask your husband, what are you doing or saying that makes him feel disrespected? What are you doing and what are you saying that makes him feel disrespected? For in my case, it was stupid. That's dumb. We're not doing it. And that opened the door for an emotional affair, because anything that I said, he said that we're not doing it, that's dumb. And anything he asked, told me to do, we're going to make this. I'm going to do the opposite because I make more money. I do this, I do that. Right. And I don't know this young lady's attitude, but I'm telling you, you need to ask him, what are you doing? And what are you saying to make him feel disrespected? And make sure that you're open for the answer, not to defend, but be open for the answer. If you really want to save your marriage, be open for the answer. Hi, Rosalinda. Thank you guys so much for getting on here. I appreciate you. Fila, thank you so much for getting on here from Jacksonville. I appreciate you. We used to be stationed in Jacksonville, North Carolina, a long time ago. Again, you guys, thank you so much for getting on here. I appreciate you guys. So, and don't listen to the answer to respond. Listen to the answer so you can get a true answer. Okay. Number 2, take responsibility for your behavior. Take responsibility for your behavior. Don't talk about what you're going to do and how you're going to change. Do it. Don't talk about it. Put some action behind whatever that your spouse has said to you, and allow them to see that you're changing. You're never going to be perfect, but allow them to see you changing. So put some actions behind it and own your behavior. Okay. Own your behavior. Okay. Hi, Mike. How are you? So make sure you take responsibility for your behavior, because the natural thing is when we are asking a question and we say we're looking for the answer, our mind automatically formulates to defend. And if you're going to defend, then your husband or your wife is going to still feel disrespected because there's not feeling like you're hearing what they're saying. Okay. Number 3, show some appreciation, right? I remember I could tick off 1,000 things that Gil was doing wrong. But when I was asked, what does he do right? It was like, um, because I was so focused in on the negative and not focus in on the positive. And if you guys visit my website, that's where the 30-day gratitude challenge came from. It came from me, God telling me, Gail, you always go to negative. Why don't you find the positive that Gil does? And once I did that 30-day challenge of writing something positive that my husband does every single day, I've seen my husband cry 3 times in 36 years. 3. 2 times when my children was born, and that one time when I gifted him that 30-day challenge, because I was able to show him that I do appreciate him and that I do see the things that he does right and not always pointing out the negative. Okay? So show him some appreciation. Number 4, make quality time for your spouse. Make quality time for your spouse. We make time for every other thing in our life, but when it comes to quality time, we can't put down these cell phones. We can't quit watching TV. We can't get off the laptop. We can't do any of those things, but let our girlfriends or our boys call and we can make quality time. You got to unplug. You have to unplug to be in the moment, because you can be on social media, you can watch another TV show, but you can never ever get that quality time back. Time is ticking. You can never ever get this moment back. So make quality time that's not interrupted with any other thing for you and your spouse. Okay? And number 5, show affection. A lot of times, especially for women, when we're bosses, we have a role that we have to be hard or make decisions and all of those kind of things. We forget to switch from our boxers out in the world and put on our lace panties, because that's what he married, right? He did not marry another man. He married a woman, and he wants the feminine energy that you give. So if your husband's feeling disrespectful, especially for this woman who said that she owns her own company and is highly successful, make sure that you make that switch. And I used to literally make a switch in my clothes so I would know that I was in a different role and I was not running 25 stores. Okay? Because at the end of the day, your spouse wants a feminine woman, not a boss, not a dictator, not any of those things. He already knows that you run a successful company. He wants his wife. Okay? Hi, Robert from Canada. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you for joining me in Canada. I hear that parts of Canada is getting a lot of snow. Here where I live in Maryland, it's like a monsoon. We're getting all kind of rain. And so I hope, and that's going all the way up and down the East Coast. So I pray that you guys that are in North Carolina and Florida and all, watching me is not, that you guys are safe. And so again, show some affection. Show some affection and show the softer side of who you are and who you can be. And again, apologize. That's number 6. Apologize for your behavior and really mean it. Just don't do this. Put some actions behind how you're going to change and how you're going to improve the situation, because you don't want your husband to continue to feel disrespected. Okay. Hi, Tango from Portugal. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Wow. Okay, Portugal. I appreciate that. Wow. Look at God. Look. Remember I told you I started off. I don't make New Year's resolutions. I come up with a theme for my life, and my life is look at God. He's going to do some amazing things in the lives of his people. And I believe that with every fiber of my being. Love your show. Keep up the good work. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. Thank you so much for joining me, Mike, from Cleveland. I appreciate you. Again, you guys, ladies, if you are burnt out and you don't know where to turn, visit my website, gailcrowder.com, and go register for the Burnt Out Wife, because I'm going to pour in, because you guys need to be restored and renewed for yourselves. And that is not your husband's job to do that. Okay. I understand what it is to be burnt out, but I also understand what it is to take credit for me putting too many things on my plate and blaming Gail for my plate being overflowing, and get myself together. And I want to teach you guys that. Okay. If you guys have any chats that you want me to do, whether you're a woman or a man, I get them from men, and I love getting it from men, right? Um, please send me an email, inbox me or whatever on any of my social media. I am the only one that does check my stuff. I get asked that all the time. I get asked, is it me answering on my YouTube channel and all my other stuff? Absolutely, it's me. Do I have an amazing team that works with me? Absolutely. But when I set this up, I wanted to make sure that I stay connected to you guys as much as possible. Am I human? Absolutely. Am I behind on my YouTube stuff? Yes, I am, because I decided that I was going to take off and spend time with my husband and spend time with my children and spend time with my grandchildren over the holidays. But I'm back working. I feel renewed and refreshed. And I am so blessed to be able to do that. And just remember, I practice what I teach. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. But I do practice what I teach. If you guys need some help in your marriages, please visit my website and book a free discovery call. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm trying to give you one tool and one strategy to help you get yourself over that hump. All right. And so if there's no other comments, again, you guys, thank you so much for rocking with me. Continue to lift me up in prayer as we go into the second phase of editing my TV pilot. I'm really excited about that. And like I said, God is going to do some amazing things, not just in my life, but your life as well, and in your marriage. Y'all have an amazing, amazing, amazing night.